Shabbat Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, as well as honor to the men under the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect and those who hope to be of that number. The language spoken in the New Testament is the Lashon Kodash, that is the Hebrew. The people of the New Testament spoke Hebrew, which because those people that claim the book of Mark is refutable because of the poor Greek it's written in. Acts 26:14 through 15. And when we were all fallen to the earth, this is Apostle Paul recounted to Agrippa the Edomite. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me and saying in the Hebrew tongue meaning language, saying in the Hebrew language, Saul, Saul. Saul was the name of Apostle Paul before it was changed from Saul to Paul. Why persecutest thou me? It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. Verse 15. And I said, Who art thou, Lord? And he said, I am Yahushua whom thou persecutest. Apostle Paul was telling this to Agrippa. He was recounting something that happened to him. And you can see in Acts 26:14 through 15 that the Lord spoke to him. The Lord Yahushua spoke to Apostle Paul in the Hebrew language. He didn't speak to him in the Greek language. He spoke to him in the Hebrew language. Acts 22:1 through 2. It says, you can see on the top of the chapter, it says Paul's defense before the Jews. Acts 22:1 through 2. Men, brethren, and fathers, hear ye my defense which I make now unto you. Verse 2. And when they heard that he spake in the Hebrew tongue, Hebrew language, to them they kept the more silence. And he saith, and then he gives his defense. Another verse, another precept showing you that Hebrew was the language spoken in the New Testament. Acts 2:5 through 8. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, look, are not all these which speak Galileans? Galileans spoke Hebrew. So basically, these men that were Jews out of every nation under heaven were Jews scattered into the other nations, and they came to Jerusalem to observe the day of Pentecost. Pentecostal. Yeah, and when the day of Pentecost was fully come, there it is. So you had these Jews scattered among the other nations. They came to Jerusalem to observe the day of Pentecost. Pentecost meaning 50, the 50th day, the Feast of First Fruits. That's what they were observing. And they heard the disciples who became apostles speak to them in the language they knew best. So if it was a Jew that was living among the Arabs, the so-called the so-called Arabs, the Ishmaelites, then they would have heard what the apostles said to them in the Arabic language. If they were Jews living among the Ethiopians, the Cushites, they would have heard what the apostles were saying in the language of the Ethiopians, and so on. Yeah, behold, look, are not all these which speak Galileans? Galileans spoke Hebrew. I'm gonna leave it there. Hopefully this video was edifying. Until next time, Shalom.